Yo, 59 Gaming, what's going on? It is your boy ZVG here, and today I am joined by Asdik. Finally, he's back.
Yes, sir. What's going on, guys?
And the homie Swift.
Yo, what up, fam?
And today we're going to be taking a look at the Dragon Ball Legends Game Press Top Fighter tier list right before the anniversary. So with that said, let's jump straight into it. I don't need any more introduction. So going down the list here, starting off with Z tier. We had a little change to Z tier right now. So we've added LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku in Z tier. Now, a lot of people in the community have said that LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku could be the best unit in the game right now, just to the fact that he's the most common of these three to fight in PvP. Would you agree, certain Asdik?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's in probably like 90% of my matches, and he is like, dude, if they ever made a Z plus tier, he could easily be like the first candidate for a Z plus tier. I think like he is just so oppressive. You can't initiate against him. You know, whenever he has his green card, you just can't even use blast cards against him.
Yeah.
Super tanky, really good damage. Yeah, he definitely deserves a spot in Z tier right here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Dude, it's actually crazy too, because I did not think we were going to get another unit that was going to hop into Z tier like for a very, very long time, because for the longest time this tier list did not change. Like, well, not the tier list, but tier Z in particular, right? And so just this guy, like, I know I saw you tweet out that you're like, dude, like my purple Vegeta, my Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta can't even damage this man. Like that's
Facts.
Like it just really be like that. So this guy is absolutely insane.
Yeah, he really is, dude, honestly. And I love how when he first came out, people were like, yeah, he's just a decent Zenkai, like a good Zenkai. And everyone's like, oh my god, he's broken. Bandai, he's too good. Saiyans are just too rampant, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, he's really good. And then we also have FSK at 18 in here. No complaints about that. But I have seen some people talk about FSK and how he should not be in Z tier currently, just because of the meta right now. It's more androids and Saiyans, way more than Sun Family and hybrids. Do you guys Swift, would you agree on that, since you are like a top 100 PvP player? So you know how the meta is at the top rank. So would you agree that you see less FSKs up there and stuff? So I was to hear your thoughts on that.
So I think LF Gohan on Sun Family, you could probably argue that it's more S tier than Z tier.
Yeah.
But if you run into like a strong hybrid team with
Prof.
LF Gohan, he is still a monster. So I mean, I can see him being Z tier in my opinion. I see the argument that you don't see him as much as you used to. But what I see a lot of times is people throw him on their Sun Family team, you know, with green Super Saiyan 3 and like purple Super Saiyan 3, and it is a nasty team. So even though he's not as good on Sun Family as he is on hybrids, a lot of people still choose to run him on Sun Family. So, I mean, I see what everybody's saying, but I do still think he is a Z tier unit, especially on hybrids. What do you think, Asdi?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think honestly, I still believe like he is the best unit in the game. Maybe that might be a little bit biased. I do like Gohan a lot, but it's just that the fact that he is like the true like last man standing. You know, like I don't think any other unit can beat him in that aspect. I just really think that all his teams, or well, not all of his teams, but hybrids in particular, they become like the Gohan show. Like, right, like you definitely will see people like intentionally just sack off a separate unit so they can go ahead and just start getting like those crazy buffs going on from him when he pops the ultimate. He gets that type notification, all that crazy stuff. But I do agree, even where I'm at in PvP right now, I'm nowhere near as high as Swift. But I still don't really see this guy too much. Like, not as much as I see the Super Saiyan 3 Goku or Android 18.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, that's fair. I mean, when you do have a Rising Rush in the form of an ultimate card, I mean, you're pretty much the best last man standing unit in the game at that point, right? Because like his ultimate is the strongest revenge kill in the game. Honestly, like it's stupid how broken his ultimate is once a Sun Family unit dies. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Z tier. Nothing too crazy other than LS Super Saiyan 3 Goku being in there along with 18 and FSK. Now going down the list, we have the units that were in Z tier but are not in it anymore. We have Gogeta, Bardock, and Zenkai Super Saiyan 3 Goku, while also having SP Super S17 as the top 4 in S tier. Would you guys agree on this? Honestly, I feel like due to the fact that Super Saiyan 3 Goku, 18, and FSK are just so ahead of these units right now, that's why they've fallen down into S tier. But make no mistake, these units are still incredibly powerful, especially Bardock, you know, on the Super Saiyan team, and Gogeta. On Fusions, he's alright, he's carrying them right now, but on Super Saiyans with Bardock, he just becomes a whole new menace As like I said, Super Saiyan Goku, we already know about him. The striking when he comes in, his ultimate is insane. He has a feint. Overall, a fantastic damage dealer. And Super 17 paralysis, tanky unit on androids and GT. Also, I mean, you know, one of the best green cards in the game that heals him, gives him damage reduction, all that stuff. So yeah, these are the top 4 units in S tier. Would you guys agree or disagree? Would you guys switch any units places, or what do you guys think?
I definitely do think that Super 17, I would place Super 17 a little bit higher. That's coming from an Android's main though, so take that with a grain of salt. I definitely do think that having that RNG on top of RNG, because you do have the Rising Rush and then you do have the paralysis with this guy. Not only is his green card absolutely amazing, you can actually just stall out time like for so long. You completely change the way your opponent has to play when you have this guy on the field, because you know, like, your opponent's not going to want to use a blast card. He's probably going to offer some strikes or for some tackles to kind of throw you off guard and stuff like that. He completely, like, he's like the definition of mind games at this point. Not only that, but he also has the cover change, so it's essentially his green card on the cover change, and so there's just so many good, like, you can even get priority off of that, right? It's just so good, like, all around. I definitely do like using this guy a lot, whether it be on GT, whether it's on powerful opponent even, and especially on androids. I feel like he might be a little bit higher. I think I would place him over. Honestly, it's kind of hard for me to actually say who I'd place him over, but I think I would place him over. I have to say the Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I don't know. For me, that's just what I feel like. I feel like the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, he's kind of just, as time goes on, he's just more like, oh yeah, I have an ultimate that can possibly feint and I deal a lot of damage. Plus getting the strike card on entry. And so I feel like that's, eventually it's going to get old over time.
Yeah, I agree. And I will say, like, some strong yellow units, you can take down purple Super Saiyan 3 fairly easily. I will say with Super 17, even with type advantage, he is still a tanky boy. So I don't know. I could see Super 17 maybe being a little bit higher, but at the end of the day, these 4 units are incredible, especially if you have stacked teams to put them on. Obviously, Bardock and Gogeta go hand in hand together, and a lot of people run just general Saiyans with green Super Saiyan 3, purple Super Saiyan 3, red Gogeta, and Namek Goku possibly. But yeah, I don't really have too big of a problem with the ordering, but I do agree these dudes definitely deserve to be at the top of S tier, and they all have their own, you know, pros and cons, I guess you could say, but probably more pros than cons. Definitely some all incredible units. I run into these guys all the time, and they're all very hard to deal with, especially Super 17.
All right. Fair enough. Now going down the list, we have Fat Buu, Trunks, Super Saiyan 4, Vegeta, and we have Namek Goku. So I've seen a lot of people compare Super 17 and Fat Buu. Do you think that Super 17 is better, like, definitively than Fat Buu, or do you think that Fat Buu has a case to be better than Super 17? Because they both fill similar roles on their teams, being the tank, but obviously Fat Buu has the healing and 17 has the paralysis. And Fat Buu also has the strike lock, which is also the strike lock and the locking in general, which is very powerful. So from an Android main, I want to ask you, do you think that Super 17 is definitively better than Fat Buu?
I don't know if he's like how much better he is than Fat Buu, but I definitely do think he is better. I think the main thing that Majin Buu has over him is exactly what you said, is that having the ability to go ahead and lock a unit in, and then if you have a rush, you basically can pick and choose who you want to rush if you have priority. Right?
Yep.
So that's the only thing that I would put over him. What do you think, Swift?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think overall Super 17 is the better unit. But yeah, like you guys said, having that lock-in ability is ridiculous. I can't tell you how many times, like, you know, I'll have maybe Clapku ready to go, but boom, they bring Buu in and lock me in, and then they rush, and I can't do anything about it. So, yeah, I don't know. I know Buu is still very good. He's been probably one of the longest. I mean, he's been good since he got his Zenkai, which was a while ago. So, I mean, he's held this spot in the high S tier for a long time. I think at one point he might have been Z tier. I can't remember. But he has held this spot for a long time, and it is honestly well-deserved. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I do think Super 17 is slightly better. He is super tanky. He's got the paralysis. He's got the cover change. And one thing about 17's cover change is it kind of backs you into a corner because, like, you know, if you throw a blast card out and they bring in 17, you either have two options. You either wait or you go for a sidestep, and like literally that's it. So as long as you're playing against somebody that knows how to counter that, then like I said, you're basically backed into a corner once they activate their cover change. So at the end of the day, I do think 17 is a better unit, but they're both very good.
All right, we got Trunks, and then we got Vegeta. Vegeta is actually, I feel like on Saiyans he gets incredibly powerful on Saiyans, and we all know that Trunks is like the damage dealer for future right now with Blast. I feel like Trunks and Super Saiyan 3 Goku are very similar in the fact that they both are primarily damage dealers, and that's really it. Yeah, but Trunks is for Blast, of course, while Super Saiyan 3 is Strike. Then we got Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, who has support in his kit. I mean, he has card draw speed, he has a lot of damage, and he also fits the Saiyan team perfectly with Halo Vegeta and LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So there's that, and we also have Namek Goku, who also fits that team incredibly well. I mean, he's on Super Saiyan, Sun Family. He has a lot of great teams to be ran on, and you're gonna always see him on the team because his Zero Beat is actually phenomenal for his teams. I mean, his Zenkai ability buffs Saiyans in general too, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, and also he's the only unit in the game that I feel like once he comes onto the field, he changes the entire way the game is played because you know that they're gonna have a counter in your hand, so you have to play extremely patient with a Namek Goku player. So I feel like he's the only unit that can do that, and a lot of people, a skilled Namek Goku player, I feel like could be, you know, Z tier. Honestly, like a very skilled player with him is scary to think about. But yeah, going on the list, we have the Regen boys, Piccolo and Demon King Piccolo, as well as Swift's boy over it. Well, Swift's former boy, Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and Green Goku Black. Since Swift runs,
he's still my boy.
Swift runs Clap Cool for whatever reason, but yeah. Honestly, I feel like one of our biggest mistakes was that we had Demon King Piccolo over LF Piccolo, but now recently I feel like with Regen being primarily Blast based, he's definitively the better option. But obviously in ranked, you know, DKP has the Dragon Ball Steel and whatever. So if you want to get a fast rush, obviously DKP is your pick. But if you want like a unit that's good throughout the game and gets better as the time goes on, Piccolo is your option, right? But you can't go wrong with either of them, right? And that's the glory of running Regen right now. You got so many options on the team that's actually phenomenal. So obviously Goku is down here because Galki isn't really that good anymore. Galki is just stale right now. Red. They need one color, and he probably like shoot back up like around this range because as a unit he's better than some of these units, honestly. But his team is just holding him down so much that he's just down here. Then we got the non-Zenkai boys. We got Green Goku Black, Vavasel, and Topo. What do you guys think about these non-Zenkai units being in S tier right here? Down the lower side though. I mean, previously Cell and Goku Black were like at the top, but now that they're going down and down. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think obviously Green Goku Black, I think we've all kind of silently agreed he's like probably the best non-Zenkai unit. And Topo, dude, let me talk about Topo for a second. This dude, he was like this on that original banner he came out, like we were all hyped for Jiren and all these other units, but Topo was really the saving grace of that banner. This dude does everything. He supports the team with his green card in his main. He's tanky. He has endurance. He does actually really good damage. He locks in with his ultimate, which is incredible. If you happen to start a combo against a red unit, you can just pop his ultimate and basically almost get a secured kill. He is an incredible unit. I think Revival Cell, a lot of people are saying he's kind of fallen off, but you know, at the end of the day, I think the revival ability is huge. That's one of the reasons I love Clapku so much, is just having that revival ability and being able to force the enemy not to use their rush. It can really come in handy. So I agree with these placements. I don't think they deserve to be any higher, but I definitely don't think that they deserve to be any lower.
All right, fair enough. And speaking of Topo, he's the only non-Zenkai, non-transforming unit in S tier, and it's for exactly the same reasons that Sifa said. He just does everything, like a jack of all trades, right? He has damage, tanking, support, everything that you want in a unit. Topo has it. And then we got the Bay, under 21. Isaac would know all about her since he runs 18.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then we have the newest GT Zenkai, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, down here in the bottom place of S tier. What do you guys think about these two being on the bottom?
It makes sense to me. It definitely does make sense to me because that Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's way better on GT than he is on Saiyans. Yeah. So I can definitely see why the Vegeta would be placed much higher than him because Vegeta can be placed on the Saiyans too, right? Vegeta can be placed on Saiyans and he can be placed on GT, pretty like interchangeably. But this guy, you put him on Saiyans and you definitely do see him struggle a little bit compared to other Zenkai purple units such as Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? Like he's definitely the better unit for Saiyans in particular. So I can definitely understand this. With Android 21, it's kind of funny that she's under Topo. It almost makes me feel like, you know, if for everyone watching this right here, you guys can go ahead and just start running your Android 18/Topo teams right here because that's basically what the tier list is telling you to do. But it's Topo, that's just how good Topo is, right?
I think when it comes to like Topo and 21, the main difference is the damage. Because Topo does out damages her like no question whatsoever. Her damage count on the women.
Yeah, that is true.
Personally, I feel like Topo has her beat on that. Well, Topo also has defense and support. He just edges her out when it comes to damage. But yeah, say what you were gonna say, Azzy.
Oh, no, basically what you just finished up right there.
Okay.
It's just that you can definitely see a major like damage difference between Topo and between Android 21. Because Android 21, she's kind of like, she just puts the debuffs, she buffs your allies, all that good stuff. She has the little perks of dying and stuff like that. But Topo, he, like you guys had already said, he does it all, man. He's just the golden goose.
Oh yeah, for sure. And one thing about Super Saiyan 4 Goku, kind of like Azdeek brought up, he is definitely better on GT. So I think as GT starts getting a full color wheel, because I think the main problem with GT right now is it's pretty predictable what units you're going to bring. You're going to bring obviously the three most recent Zenkais for GT. So you can get color countered pretty easily. But I think as GT starts getting more units and they get a full color wheel, we might see Super Saiyan 4 Goku's position rise on this tier list.
Yep.
Kind of similar to what CVG said about blue God Key Goku right there. As we start getting a full color wheel for God Key, he himself will probably rise up as well. So,
dude, I just love making jokes about God Keys, right? Because Swift and Maud like literally always like anytime a new God Key unit comes out, they're like, please be red, please be red, please be red, and then they're never red. So it's always funny.
Hey,
but yeah.
Hey, the jokes are going to be done once we finally get that red unit and God Key takes over, man. The jokes are going to be over at that point.
Yeah. All right, so going down the list, we got tier 1, and we have some controversy here. We got Demon King Piccolo down here in tier 1. Now, DKP is transforming just like Goku Black and Red Cell. So do you guys think that DKP, obviously you have Vados here, but DKP specifically, do you guys think that DKP should be in tier 1, or you guys think that he should be in S tier?
I think he should be.
I think he. Yeah, I was literally about to say I think him and Vados, you could make an argument for S tier for both of them. You know, DKP, once he gets that transformation off, he is a monster. And then every time the enemy swaps out, he just draws a card, and he's got a really good kit. He does really good damage. I think you could definitely make an argument for him being S tier, like low S tier probably. But I was going to say the same thing with Vados. Vados is, you could easily make an argument that she could be low S tier as well. Yep. She is honestly probably the best support unit that this game has ever seen.
Halo
probably
Vegeta.
Followed by, I was about to say Yellow Angel Vegeta. Vados and Angel Vegeta are like probably together the two best support units this game's ever seen. So I'm kind of interested to see where Angel Vegeta is on this list. But yeah, I definitely think you can make an argument for S tier for both of these units.
All right, next up we got the man hit, the one-shot KO hit, and we got God Vegeta, Swift's baby boy right here. Swift, you've used this guy so much, man. Honestly, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then we got Green Android 21 as the we all know that you love her. You know what I'm saying? Since you're Android main. Then we got the best LF in the game, boys. We got Kid Buu here now. Okay, I want to ask you guys: do you guys think that Kid Buu is better than LF Future Gohan?
Ooh.
Yeah, because
that's hard.
Those were the best LFs in the game. So
I think at low stars, so like let's say they're both let's say 3 stars. I would say Future Gohan's better, but I think as you start getting more stars on Kid Buu, he really can be a monster. Especially because he's got regen on, like, you know, obviously backing him up, and regen is an amazing team. But I think the problem is, you know, I don't see a lot of people with a high star Kid Buu. Like most of the time, if I see Kid Buu, he's really low stars, or most of the time people just don't even throw him on their regen team. So I think he's like for whatever reason, just not getting the love he deserves, because he is a phenomenal unit. I think obviously it's just the problem that, he's an LF unit, he's hard to pull, and people just don't have him at high stars. And, unfortunately, LF units in this game, unless you have them at high stars, they're not going to perform very well in high rank PvP. So
exactly. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and say that I'm going to put Kid Buu over Gohan, because my ideal team personally for Gohan, for the LF Future Gohan, would be him, Trunks, the Red Trunks, and then LF Rosé. As you guys do know, like how you guys are exactly just talking about, the LFs will not perform at low stars. You absolutely need them at high stars for them to actually do good. I've seen that team perform really, really good in LBR. I think I've seen Goresh use that team and just absolutely just stomp every single opponent. But it's just like, if you don't have them at high stars, then they're just really, really eh.
All right, fair enough. All right, so next we got Halo Vegeta. Now, I think honestly, the hardest thing to rank in this game is support unit, right? Because every other unit, like, you can say, okay, they got good defense, good offense, and that. But with support units, their main focus of their kit is actually to support, because Vados and Vegeta don't have like any damage whatsoever. They're not tanks per se, but they have the best support in the game. So it's very hard to rank these units. So I feel like when it comes to supports in general, it's like a support would need to have like damage, support, and defense, or like something along those lines to like get into it. Like how Topo has all three and he's up here, while these two are not, because they don't have the damage or the defense to like back it up, right?
Yeah.
Then we got Super 17.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why Halo Vegeta.
Well, can I say something real quick?
Okay,
So I wanted to. And it might surprise people, but I would actually put that Vegeta above Vados, and I have one main reason for that. So it is a little surprising because I am a God Key main and I love Vados. But the reason I would put Vegeta above Vados is just the team. So I think individually Vados is a slightly better support unit than Vegeta.
Yeah.
But if you look at the overall teams, you got Saiyans, which is literally the best team in the game.
Yeah.
And if you have this Vegeta at high stars alongside Green Super Saiyan 3, I could definitely see an argument to be made that Vegeta belongs maybe a little bit above Vados. But at the end of the day, like you said, support units are hard to rank. And I don't know. There's arguments either way, I guess. But I definitely think Vados is good and Vegeta is good. But just the team background in general, I think Saiyans is in a better spot than God Key right now, but that's just my opinion.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I want to double down on that. I personally, in my own personal tier list, I would put the Angel Vegeta and I would put Vados in S tier. Like, I'm not gonna like, yes, it is hard to rank these support units, but it just, I think when I look at a tier list and what I think of placement and stuff like that, I think of like utility, all that good stuff, how often you see them and all that, and like you always see that Vegeta on a Saiyan's team, always, like no matter what, you always see Vados on a God Key team, no matter what, and so that's kind of how I kind of like see it as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, we can move on. I just wanted to touch base on that one little thing right there real quick.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got DBS 17 and my dude. Like this, I just can't look. Okay, so as a future main, right? When it comes to playing this game, if I run into Super Saiyan 3 Goku, bro, this man just cannot get the job done at all. Honestly, like for me, because I have a 7-star Vegeta, and he just cannot kill the tanky greens in the game right now. Like, it has to be a rush or nothing else, because his damage has just firing off tremendously, especially when he hits 50 counts, bro, in the match. Like, it's over for him, like, at that point. But yeah, that's pretty what I gotta say about him. Now 17 is actually pretty good, I would say. 17 is like actually like phenomenal, bro. Like at high stars.
Yeah, dude, it's actually crazy because I remember when this guy first came out, like people were making videos like 1v3 with Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Vegeta, and now he's kind of just,
I was gonna say, it's kind of sad because this kid is designed to where like you want to sack him off and kill him, but if you're going up against a strong green unit, then you almost need a purple unit to counter him. So it's almost like a design flaw at that point. Like, you want him to die for the death buffs, but then you don't have a purple unit to counter a green. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Azik's boy right here, Bergamo. Oh, hold on. Is it Bergamo? Dude, what's his name? What's his nickname that you've given him, bro? I can't remember his nickname.
Bergamo.
Bergamo.
Oh yeah. Bergamo, sorry.
Oh, Bergamo.
Yeah, Bergamo. Yeah. Dude, Bergamo is actually pretty good, honestly. Like I run Rival Universe, and he's like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even though he takes a while to like ramp up, but he's still like very, very, very good. Next up, we got Zenkai 7 Super Saiyan. Bro, dude, this guy, dude.
Oh yeah.
On his Super Saiyan, now honestly, like when he first came out, we are like, yeah, he's okay, he's alright, but dude, he's very good on Super Saiyan because he's a tank for that team, and with Bardock's crit buffs and support, his damage can be insane sometimes, honestly. Then we got Goten here. Goten is actually pretty good. I mean, even though I barely see Goten ever.
Oh yeah,
ever. Like I haven't faced a Goten in so long, honestly. Have you guys faced any Gotens recently? I doubt it though, but
I see them every once in a while. I'd say most of the people run LF Gohan over him, but he could be good, especially at higher stars. He's a decent support for the team.
I'm gonna say something a little bit controversial. I'm actually kind of happy to see Goten above the LF Gohan, but I honestly feel like when I've gone against hybrids teams that are running the Goten instead of the future Gohan, I definitely see the damage being a lot better compared to when I'm seeing these hybrids team ran with the LF Gohan instead.
Yeah, I could see that. And then it's also the fact that like when I'm running into a hybrid team and I'm facing the LF Gohan, it makes me a little bit nervous because I know I have to deal with endurance.
Yeah.
So like you said, I think Goten gives kind of some better buffs and he supports the team a little bit and he can be tanky, but he doesn't have that endurance. So I think at the end of the day, there's pros and cons to each unit. But I agree with you. I'm glad to see Goten one spot above.
Let's go. That's my boy right there.
Alright, so we got LF Gohan under Goten because as you guys all know, we do rank these LFs at 3 stars, but we do have their 6-star placement in the discussion, the explanation area, and Gohan would be mid S tier at 6 stars. And honestly, I would agree because this Gohan, bro, like he just has endurance, support, damage, like he just incredibly good once you get higher stars. His
cover change is so good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think most of these LFs would be at S tier when they're at 6 stars. Let me check UI real quick. Honestly, don't know. Top of tier or get best tier, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Their LFs are like once they're at 6 stars, then they become like a really, really, really. Oh my god, I clicked on this page by accident. But yeah, you got UI below Gohan, which I feel like no one is like surprised about that because Kid Buu and Gohan are pretty much the top 2 LFs in the game, and then as you go lower and lower, you can like switch out, Gogeta, UI Goku, so on and so forth. Right, next up we got the Bay Android 18 with Khalifa right here. Now, Azik had some strong opinions on Khalifa when she got her Zenkai. Yeah, that indicates that it wasn't good. Honestly, he's just like okay to me.
This unit.
Hate? That's a very strong word, man. A very strong word.
No, yeah, it is a strong word. It is a very strong word. I'm just so hurt because I simped over this unit. And I literally have a 2-star hit that I would rather run my 2-star hit over this Khalifa. We actually saw hit too early up in the tier list. Look at how high hit is compared to the Khalifa, bro. Like it just, oh my god.
Yeah,
like, look
it's
at
just
that.
Hit is just
so
way
tragic.
better because hit has like hit is like if you're in a Rival Universe, bro, you want hit on your team because hit gives you that like quick damage, right? And all the other units have to like ramp up like Turquoise to get hit. Bergamo wants away 30 counts, but hit as he comes in the battlefield, boom, damage, right? When it comes to Khalifa, she's like, if it's not against Saiyans, you might as well just not bring her, honestly. And even against Saiyans, she's not like all that oppressive, right? And we got Blue 18, which is basically like Android 18, but like just worse. I mean, her kit is very similar to 18, but she just doesn't have the card draw speed to like go along with her kit, right? But yeah, that's the only flaw. She has good straight damage. Honestly, on Androids, I feel like if you want pure damage, you can probably like just run her over Blue 21 if you want the pure damage on Androids. Then we got Champa, then we got this Zenkai is just the way they did this Zenkai makes me hopeful for the future because they butchered this guy so bad. Like his kit needed just a little upgrade and he would be like incredibly broken, but they just didn't add anything and you just like very average, right? As a Zenkai. Then we got Gohan and Beerus. pretty standard right there. Beerus obviously not the main green on Godkey anymore. All right. Next up is tier 2. Now tier 2, we're gonna briefly go over some units in here. Now most of the LFs have dropped down in here just because we just like revamped tier 1. So I feel like, what do you guys think about the LFs being in tier 2? Most of them, we got Broly, Vegito Blue, Gogeta, Rose. What do you guys think about them being in tier 2? Also Ultra Goku, you know, the main man for the past 3 weeks, is in tier 2. So
That's
what do you
so
guys
sad,
think?
bro.
I think it almost brings us back to the argument how, you know, LF units at low stars don't perform very well. Like, that LF Broly is a prime example of a unit that, like, if you have him at high stars and you run him on, like, a Super Saiyan team, you can, like, you know, build, like, a blue-purple Super Saiyan team with that Broly at high stars. He is a monster, dude. His damage output is incredible, and he kind of has those buffs that Android 18 has, where, you know, the opponent doesn't really want to swap out, because the more that they swap out, the more buffs that he's getting. So, you know, I think he's a prime example of a unit that at higher stars, he could be higher on the tier list. But, you know, if you're considering all the LF units at 3 stars, then it makes sense that he's tier 2, in my opinion. But, and I think, what is Vegito Blue in tier 2 too, I believe?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Vegeta
right
Blue
under
is-
Broly.
yeah, on the
So-
Broly, yeah.
So Vegito Blue is one of those units that, like, he still has some value, but he has fallen off extremely far from what he used to be. Like, I think most of his value nowadays is just from, like, farming Rising Rush, you know, extending the combo a little bit if you need to waste a little bit of time. But his damage is nothing what it used to be. So I think at the end of the day, I agree with most of these units being where they're at. But, you know, once again, at higher stars, they could have some better potential.
Oh yeah, I think it's just so sad, bro, that you have Vegito Blue like right under Broly, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But dude, 2 spots under Vegito Blue, you have Gogeta Blue, bro.
Honestly,
and
I
that
feel
guy
like
is not.
I feel like Gogeta Blue should be above Vegeta Blue. Honestly, even though I do it for gameplays and stuff, I feel like Gogeta Blue is just far better from my own experience. I feel like he's really like underrated, honestly, when it comes
Dude,
to
yeah,
like
Gogeta Blue is
Yeah.
amazing. Like,
Yeah.
like everybody talks about how it sucks he doesn't have card draw speed, and I agree. It would be a lot nicer if he had card draw speed. But you have to remember, you're mostly running him on the same side as Vados, who has card draw speed. So I feel like if Gogeta Blue had card draw speed and you ran him alongside Vados, it might almost be a little too busted. So I think.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the other stuff Gogeta brings to the table, being immune to cover change, you know, an extremely hard-hitting ultimate, an extremely hard-hitting blue card. He does good damage just overall with his regular strikes and blast cards. You know, I think he, like you said, he's an underrated unit. And once again, at higher stars, he just gets better and better.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely do agree. But even under him, bro, like you have the Super Saiyan Rose, like 2 spots under him at that, right? Because you have the Gotenks right there, and then you have the Super Saiyan Rose. It's just like these LS are not built the same way that they made them. Like, well, because I mean, obviously we do have some good ones out of the bunch. We have the future Gohan, and we have the Kid Buu. But it's just like, for the most part, it's just like the LFs are almost not worth it, bro. And like, unless you're gonna go ham, but like for a free-to-play player like me or like ZBG, like we already know we're like, yeah, like this is not going to be worth it.
Yep.
But obviously, you know, I
still regret summoning on the banner. Like, that's one of the worst things I ever decided to do. I still regret. Because even if I did pull him, I would like not use him anyway, because he's just not good.
I don't use
at
him.
2 or 3. Yeah, so it's like, honestly, like Swift's boy. Now Swift obviously knows why he's down there, because there's just better options on Godkey and Saints and some family, right? But Swift, you want to talk about it? I thought it's so funny, bro. Clapco is down in tier 2. Honestly, I feel like there's like he should be like above this trash right here. This trash he should be like way down here, bro. No cap. Like this.
So
is
let me
just
tell
terrible.
you. Let me explain real quick why I love Clapco. It's not just the revival. Like, that's part of it. But so the main reason I love Clapco is, okay, so there's like a few reasons. Number one, he is actually fairly tanky. Like, maybe not at like 2 or 3 stars, but if you get him up to like 7, 8, 9 stars, he's pretty tanky. Number two, he gets a green card on his first main ability. So what I do, I try to start with Vados, and then, some stuff happens. I go into Clapku, pop the main, and then I line up an extra green card for Vados. And then by the time I swap back into Vados, I'm normally popping 2 green cards, which reduces all of my allies' sub counts, reduces the enemy key. And then after his revival, he gets a blue card on his next main ability, which really comes in handy. And then obviously the big thing is the revival. You're forcing your enemy not to use their Rising Rush. If they do use their Rising Rush, it's kind of a waste. So the thing with Clapku is, like, you can really control the game in your favor. Like, if you're playing somebody that, you happen to gain priority in the beginning, you farm a Rising Rush, you pop the Rising Rush, kill one of their units, and then they're in a situation where they can't really rush because you're just going to swap in Clapku. So I will admit that Blue Zenkai Goku is a better option just for damage output. Even tanking, he's very tanky, gets his Vanish back on his main ability and all these other things. But at the end of the day, I think the utility that Clapku offers is honestly incredible. And he's helped me win many, many games. So I love the dude. I can see why he's tier 2, but in my mind, he's a little bit higher.
Dude, I have no idea why LS4 Goku is this high. Honestly, like, I'm gonna have to talk to Raditz personally, because he should be like, you know what I'm saying, like all the way down here, you know what I'm saying, like down at the bottom.
Hold up, this is high?
Like, he's way too, dude, he's just garbage, man. Like, and I have no idea why people are so attached to these LS4. Like, dude, we know you're wasting your CC for garbage, man. Just admit that he's trash, but he's not good. Stop trying to be like, oh, I clap people with him all the time. You guys know how to play him. Like, he's just bad all around. Poor damage, no defense whatsoever, and he just dies. Like, that's exactly what he is. So, other than that, not really much to go over in tier 2. I don't know why they're down here. Not really that good anymore. Also, better color options on their teams and stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the unit tier list before the anniversary. So hopefully the anniversary does change up things quite a lot. I hope that the anniversaries are incredibly good, like S tier levels of good, right? Hopefully the LF2 is like S tier level of good. But yeah, let us know what you think of this tier list down below in the comments. Would you guys change anything? As in Swift, would you guys change anything in the tier list, like personally going down the list right now?
Me and Azdeek were kind of talking. Maybe the support units like Vados and that Angel Vegeta could be a little bit higher. In my opinion, Clapku could be probably tier 1, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm a little biased. But I'd say overall, Game Press does a decent job with this tier list, and tier lists are not easy to make. So I respect that they do a good job with this, and I don't really have too big of a problem. What do you think, Azdeek?
Yeah, I completely agree. I honestly, surprisingly, I actually do agree with you in terms of Clapku. As someone that actually does watch your videos a lot, you are a very high-ranked player. You do a lot of technical stuff involving this Clapku, a lot of stuff that really, like, you force the enemy to play around your Clapku in a way, especially with the combination of Vados, like using those green cards, making sure you are reducing your sub count, making sure that this guy is always available for you to go ahead and swap in just in case you do get caught in a combo and just in case you do go for a rush. So I definitely can see him being a little bit higher. I'm not going to lie. I definitely do see his value. I definitely understand where ZVG is like, his damage is trash. Like, it just
that's not really my argument. My argument is that we have a free option that's better. That's just my thing. So like, getting somebody for him is like not worth it a lot. But Swift obviously had other plans. Like, he just couldn't fathom that he wasn't ready. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna summon anyway. It's a new guy killing it. I'm just gonna use him, and he just summoned on the line. So it's like,
yeah. I think that goes also with the argument that, in the hands of the right player, like, these units could like shine more. But it's just like at face value, you definitely, that's where like the Game Press likes to rank these units. Like for so I can definitely understand why they have him right here as well, and it just be like that sometimes. I do like Clapku too. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have him personally, but he's definitely interesting. He has an extremely powerful mechanic. I feel like one of the main reasons why he's just at that spot is just because of the fact that you do have the Zenkai Super Saiyan Blue Goku, right? I think that's like the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely, and that makes sense.
Yeah, but as I said before, let us know, guys, in the comments what you would change. And do you guys agree with the overall tier list? So let us know. But yeah, this is ZVG, joined by Azdeek and the homie Swift. And the homie Azdeek too. Azdeek, you are the homie. But yeah. But we'll catch you guys in the next 5-9 gaming video. Peace out and one love, guys.
Peace.
Laters.